Hi guys, it's the Millwall Tube here, and today we are back again with the Championship predictions. This game week is game week 27, so let's not waste any more time and jump straight into it. So, starting off at the MKM Stadium, we have Hull versus Norwich, of course the Friday night game under the lights, and of course Norwich have been dreadful lately. They couldn't even get past Bristol Rovers at home in the Cup, and yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Rovers, but with the team Norwich have, with the quality they have in their team, they should be getting past them with ease. So considering considering Hull are home, and I know their home atmospheres have been decent this season, I'm going to go for a scoreline of Hull City 2, Norwich 1. Over to the Saturday games, we have Coventry versus Leicester, and although Coventry are doing really well lately, you know, really pushing for them playoffs, unfortunately Leicester are just Leicester, so I'm going to go for a scoreline of Coventry 1, Leicester City 3. Next up, we've got Birmingham versus Swansea, and to be fair to Swansea, they have hit some decent form of late, but unfortunately for them, I do think they are playing Birmingham at an awful time. Of course, they've just appointed Tony Mowbray as their manager, who I actually do rate as a manager quite highly, so I reckon they will have a bit of new manager bounce. So I'm going to go for a scoreline of Birmingham City 1, Swansea 0. Now for Cardiff versus Leeds, of course Cardiff have been a very inconsistent side of late. They just got tonked 4-0 away at the worst team in the league in Sheffield Wednesday, and it was in the Cup, but I looked at their side and I'm pretty sure it was still quite a strong side. And of course for Leeds, they've been getting back to winning ways of late, so I see them winning this one quite comfortably. Cardiff City 0, Leeds United 2. Over to the John Smith Stadium, we have Huddersfield versus Plymouth, the first mid-off of the week. Yeah, both sides sitting just above the relegation zone. Don't see there being much in this game whatsoever. 1-1 draw. Next up, we've got Millwall versus Middlesbrough, and I've got to say we have been on absolute fire of late. We've won our last 3 league games in a row, and that Leicester Cup game was the most frustrating thing ever. You know, we played so well but just could not take our chances. 100% deserved to win the match, but anyway, considering how well we're playing lately and how much of an inconsistent side Borough are, and the fact they have to play a cup game in midweek, I see us winning this one quite comfortably. Millwall 2, Middlesbrough 0. Now for Preston versus Bristol City, and of course for Preston, it's gone completely downhill since their big Boxing Day win versus Leeds, and for Bristol City, of course their last league game was against us where they showed Jack Diddley for 90 minutes, if I'm being honest, so unfortunately I see this one being a ball draw, 0-0. Over to the New York Stadium, we have Rotherham versus Stoke, and both sides are unbeaten in their last 2 league games, but both sides ain't won in their last 2 league games, so I think you can all see where I'm going to go with this one. Another ball draw, 1-1. Next up, we've got Southampton versus Sheffield Wednesday, and to be fair, Sheffield Wednesday have been on fire recently. They are right up Huddersfield's backsides, to be fair, but unfortunately for Wednesday, Southampton are just a different kettle of fish. They've taken being on fire to a whole nother level. I think they're about 20 games unbeaten, so I can only see this game going one way, 3-1 Saints. Now for West Brom versus Blackburn. Of course Blackburn have been awful of late, let's be honest, but they are coming off a cup win, to be fair, against Cambridge at home. I think they won 5-2, so I suppose that win will be good for confidence, but do I see them going over to the Hawthorns and getting a result? No. You know, West Brom have been very good at home this season, so I can only see this game going one way, 2-1 Baggies. Over to Portman Road, we have Ipswich versus Sunderland, and of course Sunderland are coming off a 3-0 loss at home to their biggest rivals, Newcastle, in the Cup, so I can imagine that result being very deflating for them, so I do think they are going to want to respond big with this next game, and to be fair, I do think it's a good opportunity to do so, as Ipswich ain't in the best form whatsoever, so I reckon it'll be a high scoring game, so I'm going to go for a scoreline of Ipswich 2, Sunderland 3. Finally, we have QPR versus Watford, and both sides ain't really in great form whatsoever really. It's a little bit of a mid-off, I can't lie. I just think Watford do have a bit more quality than QPR, so I see them edging this game just by 1-0. So there you go, they were my championship predictions for this game week. Please do leave your predictions in the comments below, so I'll see you all on Saturday against Borough. Come the Lions.